Okay, so basically, I'm going to read a book, and this is written by Swami Ashokananda. And you guys might not be knowing because this is a totally like it's a very Bengali kind of term, and if you're not familiar with it, you would not be knowing. When I meet my SP, I would be informing him few things about. Uh, First of all, I'll tell him what Ramakrishna Mission is. I think I have already introduced him to that. I used to send him tapes about it. I would tell him like all the like how in churches there are priests. So in temple also we have uh, so that a main person who actually worships, or somebody who you can say, like, I don't know, like there are many people who call them the main member of the temple. Okay, so that person who does all the worship and things like that, so that person is known as Swami here. Okay, so basically he's the priest. So he has written this book, and this is about let us be God. So it doesn't mean let us be literally God, but he is trying to say that within us is the God, and that God resides in us. Okay, so he is not basically someone who talks about conscious manifestation, but manifestation is nothing but spiritual beliefs, and every spiritual law is a law. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, now let me tell you something. So he's written in this. Now let me read it out for you and convert it. Now suppose a desire arises in my mind to do such and such a thing. Any desire. So he's basically not talking about a specific person or anything, but he's just saying that I have a desire and I want to do something about it. First, this desire becomes a motive power, and then I find that in order to accomplish what I wish, I have the intelligence and ability. Next, I find that I have all the necessary external means at my disposal, and eventually I accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. So what he's saying is, I have a desire. So my desire is to be the wife of my specific person. I'm just giving an example because like my channel is about that. So actually my channel was not just about that, it was even about many other things. But since people heavily focus on manifesting a specific person, and in work, in career, people can put that effort and do things, but when it comes to manifesting specific person, they think that it is something which is very impossible, or it cannot happen, and all that bullshit kind of limiting beliefs they have. So it is trying to say that now suppose a desire arises in my mind to do such and such a thing. First, this desire becomes a motive power. Then I find that in order to accomplish what I wish, I have the intelligence and ability. Basically, I wanted to manifest a specific person. So that was the first thing I got clear about. So I want to manifest my person. Okay. Then is second is I find that I have all the necessary external means at my disposal. Here, necessary external means what are the things I can work upon so as to be the version who already has it. Then eventually I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. You would probably say it was a free action. The man willed it, he had the intelligence, he had abilities, he had the outward means, and nothing hampered him. Here was a free man who exercised his free will and accomplished something freely. I think this is the usual way people view an accomplishment. But was the action really free? No, I would say that it was not really free, but I would be justified in making this statement only if I think of man as Vedantists think of him. Vedantists say that the true man is spirit, bodiless, even mindless. There are, of course, certain philosophical differences between various schools of Vedanta, but all Vedantists accept the principle that the real person is spirit, separate and different from the body, as well as from the mind. So they are very insistent about it. Some of you may not accept the view, but if you really face the question of what a man is, you will be forced to come to this Vedantic conclusion. I won't go into the arguments in support of this. It will be enough to point out that the body changes, body is perishable, yet the sense of your selfhood persists without any change. Mind changes, mind also goes into decay, but our sense of selfhood persists. If these two things, body and mind, were parts of a true self, then their change or self would lose its identity, which it doesn't. This is enough of an argument. I myself have not found anything, either argument or fact, to contradict it. So when a Vedantist think of a person performing an action, he at once recognizes that the true person, the spiritual being who is bodiless and mindless, could function and produce results only because he had surrendered his independence first to the mind, next to the body, and next to outward things. Now, maybe the way he put it, that might not be the way you hear in books of manifestation or something, but what he is basically aiming to say is that everybody has a free will, right? And suppose when we say that I want to manifest a specific person and they told me they don't want to be with me, they are with some other person, they are XYZ, I don't even want to think about and talk about it. But what I'm trying to say is, so your mind, so we always have this mind, okay, I had this pattern, I had this thing, something did work out in the past, or maybe I have my limited beliefs, I cannot do this and that, I am a person, like I cannot change myself. There are many people who say these things, and I was also one of them. I'm not denying, but I was also one of them. The confusion thing is, you are not what you think you are. You are beyond that. You have a God inside of you who is limitless, who is infinite. So what is stopping you from being a different identity altogether? Yeah, one thing can stop you. If you are like, I don't want to change, I want to be what I am right now, like I like being miserable. If you want to be, then you can be. But if you want to grow, which is like every person in this planet grows through things, if you want to mature, then you are not what you think you are. You are beyond that. And that is why when my SP said that, why do you still love me after all this, I was like, I know your spirit, I know what you are. You might not know what you are, but I know what you are. I see beyond what you show me. So I know his spirit. So that's what I'm talking about here also. Okay. I think that's about it I wanted to talk about here, but it's because I wanted to explain that man is bound by limiting beliefs. Man is bound by what he thinks, flight and freeze mode, if you know about it. So flight and freeze mode, basically, I think I talked this somewhere. I don't remember which video I talked in. Flight and freeze mode is when if something has happened to me, it will happen again, and if I behave like, if I want to be a different person, my mind, so what happens is, when you start affirming, your subconscious mind takes it, but your mind might be resisting it. Okay, if I be this, then what if it is happens? But what is it that is it's a job, it's the job of your mind to keep you safe, but that doesn't mean that it's doing actually a great job by keeping you safe, because it is not allowing you to grow, and if you don't grow, you will never get things which you actually deserve and want. Because why? Because you just want to be safe. It's not even actually a safety, because you are putting yourself in trouble by trying to be in that safe paradigm. So that's just a way, like, your nervous system takes some time to process it. So that's the thing about it. So there's also one more line which I read from this book, and I think it quite identifies with what we do in manifesting, like the manifesting principles. So this is saying that reality as the supreme person. This is what people think, right? People in the statistics world, people in the 3D world think like this, right? So in speaking to this subject, I think it will be convenient if I first explain these two terms, reality and person. It is not easy to define reality. Sometimes it has been said that whatever becomes the object of perception is the real, right? So what I think, for example, I see my mobile, I see that its touch screen is not working properly. So I feel like, my mobile might be haunted. but then I go and check into the internet, and I try to find like, is there is a touch problem, is there is it gives me a different result that uh, you might have some I just read it somewhere yesterday that your mobile is showing that ghost mode or something like that. So basically it says that its touch is not working properly, and so it automatically touches a plane, and it, like, how it happens. But it's you should check if there is any malware, or if there is any problem in some virus or something has inside, or maybe its touch is actually a problem, that's why it's behaving this way. So you see, the one perception was about something which I thought that it could be just because my mind was at a fearful mode when it saw that my mobile is actually touching different things which I am not even touching. It's automatically controlling itself. So that is one perception. The second perception is when I saw it scientifically in a way that might be that there's something genuinely wrong with the touch. So your perceptions are different, right? But if you have seen a lot of spiritual books or spiritual videos or something like that, you see that the way you perceive things, you actually accept that. So for people, there are some people, like I used to first think that there are some people who easily got into relationship and got married and like so smooth, and me and my SPP actually love each other like the end of the earth. But we face this and that, and then I thought that yes, because we used to perceive love, relationships as something which is very difficult, which is not in my, like, as if like everybody is born for it, I'm not born for it. We had certain kind of beliefs. He too had those beliefs, I too had those beliefs. So that's why we made a reality wherein we made it difficult really to be at this point of time right now together. But when we break down those walls, we change those reality, we change our perceptions. So I think this video would only be about perceptions and stuff like that. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you.